French Yellow Vest keep up pressure on unrepentant Macron.
Here's a summary of the article.
Paris, French Yellow Vests marched through Paris and other cities on Saturday in protest against high living costs and the perceived indifference of President Emmanuel Macron, whose government this week hardened its stance against them. The street protests began peacefully in the French capital but degenerated later in the afternoon as protesters hurled missiles at riot police barricading bridges over the Seine River and torched garbage bins on the glitzy boulevard Saint-Germain. 2 months after they started blocking roads, occupying highway toll booths and staging sometimes violent street demonstrations in Paris, the Yellow Vests sought to inject new momentum into a movement that weakened over the holidays. The protests 18 months into Macron's tenure, and his drive to reshape the economy, have already forced concessions from the 41-year-old president. Last month, Macron promised tax cuts for pensioners, wage rises for the poorest workers and the scrapping of planned fuel tax increases to quell the unrest at a cost to the Treasury of €10 billion. Faced with record-low popularity ratings, Macron is expected to pen a letter soon to the nation setting out his plans for the coming months. "We have to give power back to the people and not a minority that serves its own interests," said a second Yellow Vest protester outside the old stock market building.
This post received a score of 15,477, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Viva la Revolution?
The French definitely know how to protest.
I mean, it's basically our national sport. The Yellow Jackets are just our Olympic team's training. You're pretty good at football too.
FIFA la Revolution.
FIFA la Revolution.
On est les champions.
It's not a real revolution until the National Guard switches sides.
Yup, let's hope that happens soon.
Emmanuel, I can hire one half of the working class to kill the other half. Macron.
This is why capital always wins. Labor is too weak on traitors. Watch Red Dawn, that's how you deal with traitors.
Damn, they're still protesting? IDK, what's more impressive, the fact that people are still at it or the fact that the government has not caved?
Well, they're both experienced. French protest culture is just nutty and I love it. Wish Germans would be like that.
No protests in Germany. Raison betraton verboten.
Paraphrasing Lenin, I think, if German revolutionaries wanted to overtake a train platform, first they'd all buy tickets.
Well, until someone pushes them into a beer hall. All bets are off after that.
If you knew your history, you'd know that the beer hall putsch failed. They didn't have a permit. Hitler learned from his mistake, and when he tried to take over the government again 10 years later, all his papers were in order, so they let him go ahead.
In Germany, even the coups d'états have to be bureaucratically approved in order to succeed.
What? I just read some articles saying the numbers are down from 100k down to 20k or something. Was that propaganda? Are the numbers going up or down?
I'm currently in Guadeloupe watching French news. They just said last week had 35,000 and this week had 50,000. I believe that was quoting someone from the Yellow Jackets though, so not sure about the numbers' accuracy.
Enjoy your stay. I hope you'll remember Saint Anne as the best beach of the island.
Well, today, in my mind, put any question about the momentum behind this movement to rest. I have seen enough governments fall from protest movements in my 40-some years to have some sense of when things have crossed a tipping point, by which I mean they have reached not the fifth act, but their third, and I believe today signals we've reached that point in France. There were simply too many people out in force today to deny the momentum this has obtained. Protests are being done here every Saturday, and they are planned for every Saturday through the rest of January at least.
Thanks for the perspective. Every time I read an article on this or see something on the news, they say that the protests are dwindling.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.